Hello, my name's Tatjana Coetzee. I recently completed my second internship in Switzerland, and it took place in the Grotto Bar and Disco in School. Um, so the first topic was to analyze how I met my learning objectives. So I tried to improve my communication skills and my teaching skills, and so therefore I improved the way I address my supervisor or my most loyal customer by always addressing my supervisor respectfully, and I always try to be cheerful, irrespective of my mood. Likewise for my customers or colleagues. Um, I also believe that it's important to speak to or address students properly, no matter their age or hierarchy, because I know I wouldn't be happy if another student spoke to me in a rude manner. I mean, I don't deserve it. I didn't do anything wrong. So then, oh, the other thing is I I'll admit it was very challenging for me as a student to reprimand or to guide other students. I mean, I'm in the same position. The only thing is I'm doing my internship, but then again, I'm still a student, so it's difficult. And I mean, if I feel that way, how would a lecturer feel? I mean, it's difficult. So I understand it better now, and I mean, I know I'm one of those students who can be a little bit difficult in class sometimes, so I definitely will try to be better in class. So, good teaching skill, definitely learned from that. Other thing was yeah. So the other thing that with this objective I also tried was that I wanted to improve my some of my bar skills, and by doing that I tried to be a little bit more creative. And I mean, I couldn't change everything. I can just do that much. So it was a little bit challenging from time to time, because we didn't always have the needed equipment or the necessary ingredients. Though I tried for the cocktails, though I tried to work with what I had, and I think it worked out pretty successful. I created a pretty good cocktail menu, and I must admit it's most of it is original, though with some cocktails I had a bit more help, though I did change most of the ingredients. My next objective was how I would try to improve my micro skills. Well, it wasn't very difficult as I worked with it every day. So the system was pretty easy to understand, and I think I panicked about it unnecessarily when I set this objective. But nevertheless, it was still a good lesson, and I know more of it about it, so I'm grateful for that. Even if I did make a mistake, I would write it down on the receipt, and then I would give it to my supervisors, and they would correct it the next day. And I mean, it is important because I mean, we work with revenue, and if we enter something incorrectly, it could reflect badly, or it would maybe it would look badly. You never know. All right, moving on to the next objective. I never managed to find a balance between work and my private life. So I was very unsuccessful regarding my objective. My schedule was pretty demanding, and it was difficult to work with. It didn't always suit my friends or family regarding video calls, or maybe going out for dinner or nightlife, being young. People generally wanted to make plans in the week. I generally want to make plans in the week, and they wanted to make plans over the weekend, and that never suited me because my schedule was the busiest during the weekend, over the weekend. So, and I had off days of free time during the week. I mean, I started around 4:30 and ended at 12 in the week, and over the weekend I also started 4:30, though I'd end at 2 in the morning. So that was a little bit tiring. Though I obviously tried to stay busy. I mean, I would go insane if I didn't do anything, and I'd just work and sleep the entire time. But I spent time with colleagues, especially those who had the same schedule as I did, on and off, of course. And I also tried to make traveling arrangements. So it was nice for me to, this does link with my other objective. I got to travel to other places, and it was satisfying. My next objective, sorry, okay, yeah. So as I previously mentioned, I never saw much of Switzerland while I was studying or when I was a student. So I decided to try to change that, and I'm very happy about being able to obtain this objective of mine, because I really enjoy traveling, and I feel it's always important to learn new things or see new things or places. I mentioned in my report that I visited Blausee, and now, and honestly, it was very rewarding to see how beautiful it looked there, and we were in luck because it was actually closed, so therefore we didn't have to pay for anything when we visited it. Recently I visited Interlaken, and it was just so beautiful. The town is amazing, and the people are so friendly, and they're very welcoming, and it was really wonderful to go to a place like that before going home. It reminded me of home, the way some people are actually. I got to visit a brewery with a few friends of mine, and they allowed us to taste some beer, and we had a look around, and they had wines, and they had a few different things. But what made it more interesting was we decided to walk instead of taking a taxi, and it was very beautiful. As we walked to the brewery, we took the back way, which was pretty funny because it had snowed a few weeks earlier, so it was a little bit difficult walking in the ice. But we made it there. We passed an outdoor activity jungle type of thing. It was so cool. Obviously it was closed because of the weather. After the brewery, we spent most of our day in Interlaken. Sorry. And it was wonderful. It was rewarding, as I said. We also visited a funky chocolate factory where they teach you how to make chocolate and everything. But we had to make a reservation or a booking, and we didn't do that because we just wanted to see what it looked like. But they had the best hot chocolate. It was really good. Obviously Swiss chocolate, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. We tried to visit Lake Thun, but we weren't able to because we didn't have much time. Because we had to head back sooner than we wanted to catch the last train to go. So I chose work conflict. I thought it was more suitable for me. My partner and I had a lot of difficulties, especially in the beginning, as we are from different nationalities, so there were many cultural differences. Let's see. My first problem was the lack of job knowledge, which is strange because it's not that our job's not very difficult. I mean, you work in a bar. I know I might sound a little bit rude. In any case, he never showed up for training. So before we started internship, and I mean, of course, if you don't show up for training, you're not going to know what to do, and which means it relies on the other person. And I never like looking bad. I don't like it. I don't like not being prepared. I always prepare myself. I always take the necessary steps, no matter what I still need to do. I mean, I fit it into my schedule, And I mean that's the way I do things. I know not everyone else does that, but it's difficult if you work in a team. So my other problem is kind of annoying. So I know I might be a little bit OCD, but the cleaning was a big irritation for me. It really was. I mean, my partner never cleaned properly, and I would always have to tell my partner what to do, what not to do, and I mean, it was annoying because at the end of the day, I would have to redo everything, and why would you want to do something twice? So, yes, I would tell someone what to do, but then I would also just do it because I mean, I know how it needs to be done. Because yes, we finish at night at 12 and we clean until 1. But the next day we didn't come in early in the morning, and our bosses come in early in the morning, and then we're in trouble. And who do they speak to? They speak to me. They don't tell my partner anything. They tell me. But yeah, it was sorted out, so it's okay. Another problem for me, and I mean, it really did cause conflict between us. I mean, there was a stage when I just didn't talk to him because I mean, I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to argue. So my partner didn't pull his weight with tasks that were given to us by our supervisors, and therefore it would always be my problem because it would lie in my hands, and I would have to do it. So yeah, I kept my mouth shut in the beginning, but I grew tired of it and irritable very fast. So yeah, I can't shut my mouth for that long. After about 4 weeks, I told him. I spoke to my partner and I told my partner that this cannot continue. This cannot go on like this, because how am I supposed to do everything? I mean, I'm tired, and what about the days when I'm off? And then the day I come in, then everything's a mess, or this wasn't done, or this still needs to be done, or it just doubles my work, which isn't fair, because we're supposed to be working as a team. And so I communicated this to him, everything that was irritating me, and I mean, he had no idea. He wasn't aware of the problem, which is understandable. I mean, I didn't communicate it, so I would also be at fault with this, because the most important thing is to have communication between two partners or two people who work together, and that was the lesson I learned, to communicate. Even though I knew it, I think it was hidden there, like it was just in the back of my head, but I just didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to cause conflict. But then it caused conflict anyway. But yeah, so yeah, I needed to communicate, and my partner did apologize, and my partner felt terrible. But at the end of the day, my partner pulled his weight, and he became very helpful and supportive. And something that I didn't really like was my partner always gave me all the credit. Yes, I did the work, but I didn't expect him to give me the credit. I mean, at the end of the day, it was both our work, and all I wanted was for us to work as a team. And I told him that, and he said, okay, no, thank you, I understand that. And yeah, let me just check if I covered everything. Yeah, so like another thing was that my partner was very grateful to have me working with him. I didn't say it as often as he did, but I was also grateful to have him as my partner, because I wouldn't want to switch him or trade him for any other person or any of my colleagues, because him and I had an understanding at the end of the day.